2-minute recess for anybody wants to press or stretch or whatever, and we will reconvene at 7:03.
Welcome, Bryce Flaxman. Like to welcome everybody to actually the last meeting of the year. Here on December 14th. Call to order. This meeting has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with Public Law 75, Chapter 231. May I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Jim Petty. Here. Atenisi. Clark. Here. Cash.
Here.
Galloway. Hess.
Here.
Tessie.
Here.
Timbers.
Here.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Here. Have a motion to approve the minutes from November 9th.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Any public have any comments on agenda items only excluding items listed hearings? Once, twice. Mayor, the floor is yours for your presentation.
Okay. So first, we have a special presentation, and I'm going to ask the Sen family if they could come up, please. Which way?
Yes, I will. You want to hold it? Stand right there.
Okay. So this young man is Jackson Sen. He, as you can see, is a fancy Boy Scout. He is an Eagle Scout. Okay, and he chose. He actually is a graduate from Cedar Creek. He's in the Rowan Automotive Technology program, and obviously the Sens are long time residents of Egg Harbor City. How long do you think?
140.
Plus, right? So.
And my dad here for almost all that time.
So Jackson did his Eagle Scout project. There's a lot that goes into that. There's badges that you have to earn all the way through, and then finally you do your project at the end. So he chose to do his project at Peace Pilgrim Park, and he put up feeders, different types of birds. So you can, well, he is actually helping the birds by putting the bird feeders up, but also now you can go to Peace Pilgrim Park and do some bird watching. Something that I'd like to do. Don't get to do it too much anymore. But so to recognize him, I would like to give him a proclamation, and if he wants to have a speech afterwards, he can do it. Okay. So, whereas Jackson Sen has been actively involved in the Boy Scouts of America since he was in first grade. Whereas throughout time, he earned 21 distinctive badges, 8 of which are specifically Eagle Scout badges. Whereas after years of hard work, Scouts, Jackson was awarded his Eagle Scout badge on November 6, 2023. Eagle is the most coveted award in county and is the highest rank attainable in the Scouts of America. To note, only 6% of all Scouts earn Eagle. Whereas his final project, installing various types of birdhouses in Peace Pilgrim Park, was a welcome addition to the park. The birdhouses add beauty and provide an opportunity for residents to enjoy birdwatching. Whereas in his Eagle Scout endeavor, Jackson proved himself to be an outstanding leader and citizen. The residents, city council, and I wish to thank Jackson for his project and for making Egg Harbor City a better place to live. I take a breath. Now, therefore, be it resolved to recognize his accomplishment, I, Lisa Jim Petty, Mayor of Egg Harbor City, proclaim November 6th, Jackson Sen Day in Egg Harbor City. You want to speak? You want to say something?
Say whatever.
Thank you. I'm glad to be standing with you guys
tonight. It's a long journey, yeah, and I would like to thank my dad, my mom for really pushing me through it, and my scoutmaster, Jake Nass, and Mike Turner for guiding me through the whole process, and Taki Construction for helping me pull the project through, as well as my troop. So thank you.
And just for everybody who's here visiting tonight, don't feel obligated to stay for the whole meeting. You don't have to. If you want to, you're certainly welcome. It's always interesting to see how government works, but do not feel obligated to stay. Okay, so next we have our new full-time officer, Officer Lucia Dudo. Come on in. How am I saying?
Okay. Mayor, I'm standing over there. Yeah. Here, you stand, you guys, you can stand over here. Mayor, over there. Sorry, you. So is it the Bible with the angle just a little bit this way so we can see over there.
Now. Dudo has been with us for quite some time.
United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
The governments to the same and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of Egg Harbor City Police Officer,
the office of Egg Harbor City Police Officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I think we got some over here. I got you, fam. I'm not. Jeez, something like that. Would you like to say anything? I'm not one for a lot of words, so I'll just say thank you to the city for allowing me to be here and serve them. They've been very welcoming and I appreciate it so much. So thank you. While she's signing, I just would like to say a few things about Officer Dudo. She came to us from a neighboring jurisdiction and has been really just a firecracker here in town. To her credit, one of the things that some of our locals who we deal with frequently said at one point in time, is that Marcella's daughter? And somebody said, which I think is great for her, just because, you know, that means she's a firecracker, you know, she's not gonna put up with anything. So helping to make sure that everything was nice and ordered, and you know, we look forward to having people. Thank you. Yeah.
Ready to go right into your report?
Okay, so I did have a meeting with John Poulin, and John is from High Grass. He is building a facility. He's decided to a manufacturing facility only instead of a cultivation. So he did lose a lot of his support for the project because it was taking so long. But he's not abandoning the project, he will still finish it. It'll just be manufactured. So Ryan, I did ask him to reach out to you. Not sure, did we talk about this already? No. So I'm not sure what he has to do, if anything.
Yeah.
So that's.
That's must know for.
Yeah, Fox Mill at the industrial park. And they did break ground, so that's still going. Our small cities grant for the ADA should be submitted this week, as far as I know from Stefania. She should have all the paperwork that she needs and the signatures. Medleaf on Philadelphia Avenue, that's a retail marijuana. They supposedly had a soft opening on Wednesday. And they will be trying to have a grand opening.
They will be open the whole time. They're just working.
Sometime soon
In January.
in January. So there'll be festivities and whatnot up there later. Also, the redevelopment committee had met with a gentleman who was interested in St. Nick's, and the redevelopment committee was in favor of it, as far as I can see. And the gentleman reached out to me again, and he's requesting, he has to go to the land use board now to present the idea, but it would be helpful if he had a support letter from the council. I guess that's how it works, right? And he wants to keep St. Nick's historically preserved as much as possible, put a few single family homes on that property, and also have about 12 luxury condominiums inside the building with gym and other amenities for the residents. So, Joe, did you want to say anything about that?
No, as the mayor said, we did meet with him. Very, very well represented, very well organized plan. He threw a lot of ideas at us. We threw some questions back at him. Told him to get back to us, which we did with the mayor. Mayor reached out to myself and the committee. So at the end of the day, jointly as a committee with the mayor, it's probably going to be a phenomenal project with that property, considering this will get off the sale for a decade, maybe, if not more. Especially with having 12 high-end luxury condos in there. I think he also said a clinic, because he is a doctor. So there will be some clinic down on the ground level of it, and community room. And I think that's it, in addition to what the mayor said. So I personally, the committee would also favor doing this letter of support for him and moving it forward to the land use board to hopefully get the ball rolling for him. I do believe it is a very promising project that would definitely bring not only an aesthetically pleasing piece of land to the center, to the residential area of town, but just a project in general sounds very attractive for us. So
I just,
Question.
yeah, question. Since it's going away across the street from my house, I would like to have set plans or
Yeah,
an idea of what's going on.
and he knows that if there's several residents that would be interested in the same thing. So I'll definitely keep you posted on that, and I thought it would be a good idea to also reach out to the residents too. And have like a meeting with the residents. I think we did discuss that. in the meeting.
So he is aware that he has to present some kind of concept or presentation. So and he has requested to meet with the redevelopment committee. I was going to go after the reorg, just because of holidays, reorg, so on and so forth. So once we have that meeting, we'll bring it back, we'll explain, go into detail, provide that presentation, drawing and schematics. But as of now, I would hope that council sitting up here would trust in the mayor, the committee, would say, this is probably gonna be a great project for that property right there, so.
Next question.
Mhm.
This project is going to require a use variance for redevelopment. Yes, they haven't asked for it. At least I'm
No.
So my question is, if we write a letter of support and it goes to the land use board and they hear a case, and there happens to be maybe an appeal or something like that, would we be sticking on foot in the ground by supporting it? Angela, would you answer that?
At this point in time, we can't really do a letter of support. I think they're gonna come back to the video, they will show us exactly what they're going to do. They're gonna have to meet with residents, and then if necessary, we could do a letter of support. It's not usually, yeah. It depends on what.
I'm just worried that, you know, if we support it ahead of their appearance before the land use board, that it could cause a problem.
It also depends on what we put in the letter. If we just support the content or not support the actual application of the concept, then it's sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, we always, you know, the land use board listens to, you know, we think it's a good thing for them to listen to, we should tell them. You know, it's only an informal review, it's nothing concrete, but we have supported other projects before they've gone before the use. But if it is a redevelopment project or a plan put on there, obviously council would be the authority in that project, not the land use board. So you still have your say.
So that property is in my neighborhood as well, and I was thrilled to hear that the St. Luke's schools are being maintained historically on the exterior. And I thought that the condo idea was a great idea for that building. And it's a residential neighborhood, so I would have no problem with single family homes in addition to some condos. So like, it'd be nice to see it not be.
And just so everybody's aware, this developer is local. He is from Atlantic County. He is not from North Jersey. He is not from Philadelphia.
Where's the building?
I don't remember his name.
He has his own, he has his own practice in the wood on New Road, to get the address and name.
It's an animal, he said.
It is limited.
Dr. Rubin.
Yes.
Yeah, he's local.
Laredo.
Practicing.
And when he sat down with us, he listened to what we said we felt would be beneficial to that neighborhood. He didn't come in and say, no, this is what we want to put there. He said, you guys tell us what you think would be best there. And we sat here for what, an hour? And talked about it with them, and then they went back and they wrote down everything from what we said. Then they turned around and came up with, okay, this is what we think we can do to be beneficial to that neighborhood.
And also, Councilwoman Galloway, you were at that meeting
Yes,
and you heard the full presentation, so.
I liked it too. I think it's a great project. I just didn't want to see any problems if they need a D variance and the council then was make a decision later on that we, you know, jumped on and could cause a legal problem. I don't want to see that happen.
I just have a question. Do they get references? Do you get references to this gentleman's work anywhere? Does anyone know what other projects he's done? He hasn't done any. This will be a very first project for him.
Yes, he does have practice in the wood on the road as an active practicing doctor. And I believe, Mayor, he reached out to me initially, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the message. I think it would be appropriate best to support the application. It's people really to support the concept. You can just let this concept.
Right. And that's what we're doing.
Right. If they, you don't have plans or anything, so they present an application to the board and it's their board, which is down. You have state your position already. So this is how it's not.
Okay, so there are no other questions there? All right, so I wanted to also say the tree lighting and the first ever Christmas or winter bazaar went extremely well. I believe that there could have been 1,000 people there. A lot of people pitched in to make that happen. We had the economic development, NPP, the fire department, public works, the police department, all the performers, all the people that, my husband sitting right here who always helps out, the stage, the school. It was just a real nice event and I think everybody really enjoyed it. So hopefully next year we'll be able to do it again. if Karen doesn't have a nervous breakdown before that, but, it was really nice. So a couple other things to keep in mind. We do have the parade on Saturday. Okay, lineup will be at City Hall at 5 o'clock. It's actually London Avenue. And the step off will be at 6. So anyone who still wants to register can do so at 5 o'clock. But the parade will go off at 6 p.m. It'll go down, it'll start from Claudius down Philadelphia to Arago, and then right on Arago and back to City Hall via Liverpool Avenue. So that should be fun. And the last thing is that holiday house lighting is in progress right now. So you need to get your decorations up and your lights, and we'll have 2 brand new judges this year. They'll be riding around and checking out your home, and we'll have 3 winners, hopefully. For free, maybe some honorable mentions, who knows? But, and that's really all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving on to committee chair reports. I'll start with finance redevelopment. We've already touched on development. Part of it, so finance, we are currently negotiating with Teamsters. They proposed, we counter proposed, they rejected, next time we met, gave them one of the list and final offer. Apparently they met today, waiting to hear back. So, if they do accept, we're hoping to have an MOA in place by December 31st, so it takes place by January 1st, or is effective on January 1st, and then the second meeting in January. It will be on the agenda, and between the time frame, it will be emailed around to everybody on council to review, have any questions or concerns regarding details of what was negotiated. So, with that, Councilman Heist, anything for highway?
Just, we had, a new hire. I guess he's been with us a little over a month. Excellent guy, nice guy, very knowledgeable guy. Unfortunately, the job he left to come with us, he was a part-time position. In that position, they got a very large contract, over like the 7 to 10 years. So his boss reached out, offered him a full-time position. So he is accepting that position and going to go back to that job. So we now have one of our other applicants that we are going to hire. Keith and I interviewed him. He's a good fit for the job. So Jonas, we were told you have to present that or something.
Council for the resolution.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So Public Works Committee reviewed what Keith's email, and everyone was in agreement with it. Keith feels that, you know, he's the best positioned person for the job, that we go forth and we hire him, and his start date would be the 27th of this month. So
Which we hired on the current team's contract, which is serving this.
motion to
Any questions or comments regarding hiring of the new employee?
if we didn't notify him, we cannot tell.
We did.
We did notify, that it's going to be discussed at the meeting.
Well, so. Yeah, we're just voting on it and so I know his last name's Spicken.
Yeah, his name's Jake Baker. I just didn't know.
I
wasn't trying to hire.
We're not, we're doing good. Okay.
So there's no more questions or comments regarding the hiring of Mr. Pickens. May I have a motion?
Make that motion.
May I have a second? Second. Roll call.
Oh, Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Betsy,
Yes.
Timbers,
Richie.
Yes.
she said yes, okay.
Thumbs up.
Do you hear?
I know you're her.
I did hear. it.
I'm here.
Hasn't been working for a while.
Anything else, Councilwoman?
No, that's it.
Okay, Councilman Dash, go.
Code enforcement, this statistical data for November. Administrative duty, 0.2, certified mail code compliance for 18, in-person notifications 19, inspections or 73 done,
Any questions regarding the report?
Thank you.
Sure.
We like to, we can get the email as far as with, having extra column.
Yeah, that's all.
That was nice. So we should be getting it in the next couple of weeks. We should be adding a column to,
Yes, I'm aware.
or how often, people have violated the code, gotten tickets. So I think it'll help us out quite a bit.
So what kind of additional workload is that gonna be administratively and taking them off the streets?
Any additional workload for him whatsoever.
Administratively?
Administratively,
No, I don't believe that's.
I think it'll help him.
I think it'll take him extra time to accumulate that information, put in those columns.
We should know
That will be off the streets. Right, yeah, his work has to in office.
Personally, I think it will expedite his job because when he comes in, he'll know right where he has to go, what he has to do. And he won't have to look to try to find out when the last time, when they got a red card, or when they got this or that, it'll pop right up.
I don't necessarily think the key thing would be the department thing.
I mean,
That I don't think it would be so much a key thing, it would be a department.
sure, but he's one of the two.
Right. It would be department.
Now, is he gonna be going from just the history of that property in person, or is he like starting as of January 1st, 2024, and then keeping count from there?
It's ongoing. Yeah, it's going, well, it's a 60-day.
So I believe the email specifically stated starting in 2024.
Okay.
That's all the email to you.
Well, in a couple of weeks, I mean, it'll be 2024.
Okay.
I have an issue that I brought up at one of the committee meetings about the owner of a property on Lakers Pike and Bremen Avenue put out like a rope barrier on the property that goes all the way to the street. It goes into the right of way. There's no place for people to walk.
I had actually asked you about that as well. Let me get a follow up on that.
Yeah, because people
You
get
got
off
lots
the bus and they walk up Bremen Avenue, or they have to walk into the lane of traffic to get where they're going. Thank you.
Anything else for code?
No, that's it.
All right, Councilwoman Antonisi, can we hear you or no?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hear you. Do you have anything for property parts of your house and sport?
I do not at this time. Whatever you did with the audio, it made it worse.
We can hear you.
Better for us to hear you.
Okay.
Makes two loud.
All right, if you have nothing, thank you. Councilman President. Councilman Timbers, Langston, Aaron Hyman. Maggie, I think we're just. All right, and Treasury, Councilwoman Nancy.
I do. The Rotary has a Naughty or Nice bar crawl this Saturday, the 16th, and it's sold out. If anyone is going, at each bar, they will have a Toys for Tots drop-off box, and a raffle ticket will be given for each toy. One of the raffle prizes will be a taste of Egg Harbor City. It's gift certificates with restaurants and bakeries in that basket. So it should be really nice, a nice basket. There will be 3 other contests as well: ugly sweater contest, the cocktail contest, and the best decorated bar contest. Even though the bar crawl is on the same day as the Christmas parades, you could attend both, because I am going to be at both. It's going from 4 to 10, so they could easily get to both. And if you're going, have a great time, but if you don't have a designated driver and need one to get home, please call Uber. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Galloway, anything additional to what we discussed earlier for sustainable?
Well, we have something new that we're starting a new action, piggybacks on the ordinance that we passed last month regarding road salt containers. So the action would be, it's called Winter Best Practices to Reduce Road Salt Impact. And we're going to be working with a student from Cedar Creek High School. We'll be conducting a testing of our waterways to see, like a benchmark would be if she does the test now and through this winter season to see how much salt is getting into the water. and she will test 4 to 6 times and post results to the New Jersey Salt Watch study. And there's other actions available for points in this reduced road salt impact, and they are to have training for the Public Works Department employees and to do a road salt inventory. It's just a simple form, fill out how much salt you ordered, how much you used during the season, and so forth. So if we do all of those things, we'll get up to 15 points for our certification, which we desperately need.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Chief. Welcome.
We've been pretty busy since we last met in November. So from November 9th to today, to be some numbers, we had 1 aggravated assault, 4 burglaries, 1 fraud, 2 reported CDS narcotics activities. Again, that's not anything that we have self-initiated. This is stuff that some other people have called in. 1 robbery, 1 sexual assault, 5 simple assaults, 3 stolen motor vehicles, 8 thefts, 28 motor vehicle accidents, 3 pedestrian stops, 51 traffic stops, for a total of 60 summonses issued, 1 DUI arrest, 14 other arrests, 17 business alarms, 10 residential alarms, 393 crime prevention activities, 1 criminal mischief call, 10 domestics, 65 EMS calls, 10 firearms ID applications, 31 follow-ups, 830 property checks, and 30 public service calls. In terms of operation support training inspections, we did do an inspection checkpoint on November 30th at New York and we had the officers attend in-service training over this last 5 weeks. To piggyback off what Mayor Van Petty mentioned, we did have the Winter Bazaar and the tree lighting, which were both hugely successful. Special shout out to Karen Adams and Keith Adams of the EDC, who really put it all together. So it was amazing. And Mayor for putting together the tree lighting and having the wonderful folks who perform and spoke, amazing. We did Holidays with Heroes on that same day. Earlier that morning, Officer Dudo and Officer Cantz and I were at the PAL building in EHT that morning, playing games and having fun with kids from all over the county. There was then a caravan of all kinds of emergency vehicles, fire trucks, police, ambulance, some of our military as well, from the EHT PAL building to Walmart in Mays Landing, where each of the children, there were 5 from Egg Harbor City, were then able to shop with officers and spend $100 to buy stuff for themselves. And it's really funny, and it just it makes me smile each year. A lot of things will be like, well, I want to buy this for so-and-so, I want to buy this for so-and-so. So even though it's supposed to be for them, they still have that giving spirit, and that's always just wonderful to see. It was the biggest shop with not Holiday with Hero that to date. I believe there were 130 kids, 127 officers, or first responders, so that was a huge success. So that's all I've got for you right now. Any questions, concerns?
Good job.
All right.
Thank you.
Wishing everybody a happy holiday season, and stay safe. As Councilman Leslie said, please do not imbibe and drive. Call Uber, call somebody, do something, don't drive. Everybody have a safe holiday season, and let's get to the new year and do some more good stuff.
Thank you. Joe, do you have anything?
No, thank you.
Let's see. What?
I do not.
Angela.
Thank you very much.
Huh?
I do. I have a
Okay.
couple of things. So the redevelopment agreement with Jonathan Sakar is almost completed. I'm just waiting for the entire list of blocks and lots so that we get the appropriate amount. It's $10,000 per lot. And Mr. Sakar also did a preliminary site plan. He submitted it to the planning board. I asked for an update. So as soon as I have that, I'll have the attachments I need for the plan. He also will most likely ask for some kind of tax pilot program. I'm not sure the extent of that. So I asked him if he's in fact interested, that he submit a proposal to the CFO and to council through the redevelopment and finance committee to see if you're interested. Our ordinance provides that you may grant him one, you don't have to grant him one. And also, he made it clear that if he does ask for one, it's for a limited time, basically when he purchases the land up until the buildings go up. And then once the buildings go up, I strongly encouraged him not to ask for any tax savings on that. But as far as the land is concerned, we're not getting any tax dollar now because we own it. And so for the period of time, hopefully it does not take a long time. He probably will ask for that. And then, as far as the master plan, we need to, discuss the elements of the master plan with the redevelopment committee if possible in the new year. Hopefully sooner rather than later, so we could get moving on that and the planning board could take a look at it and then it'll come back to council. And that's it. I wish everyone a happy holiday, happy new year. Thank you very much.
Angela, can I just ask you about
Sure.
the pilot plan? It's not on the land. The land, we're always gonna get the money on, right? Is it going, are you talking about the property? that
Well,
you're
our
buying?
ordinance provides for a tax advantage for new commercial property.
Mhm.
So theoretically, he would only get it if you put something up, but he's not really sure what he wants. And so I wasn't gonna tell him what he needs or what he should get. And so I said to him, you know, you can float whatever proposition you want to council, but, you know, we want this project to go through and they're looking for the tax, the rateable. You know, frankly, you're looking for a rateable.
Sure.
And so hopefully, you know, it doesn't ask for much if he asks for anything. He may not ask for anything.
Can you give a pilot for the land? Or only for the improvement?
Only for the improvement.
Right.
And so, I mean, so if he's asking for tax savings on the land only, that's really discretionary up to you, you know.
But it is a 5-year abatement for any new buildings. That's what we want to give.
No, there's a difference. Abatement's residential, pilot is commercial. Pilot is payment in lieu of taxes where 95% of the payment comes to the municipality and 5% goes to
Right.
the county, where a residential abatement, the money gets dispersed between the municipality, school board, so, and other entities.
No, I know that, but
Okay.
we did away with the residential abatement. We don't have
Right.
that anymore. And that was a 5-year phased-in program. But for businesses, you didn't do away with that. We still.
No, that's the pilot.
No, but for the businesses, it's discretionary. You don't have to give it to them. You don't have to give him anything.
And they have to file with the state, right?
Right, but also they first have to submit a proposal. The procedure through the ordinances, they submit a proposal through the CFO. And then they go to council and they propose it to council and then you look at it, you decide if it's viable or not viable. You could grant part of it, you don't have to grant any of it. It's up to you. And frankly, I'm not sure he knows what he wants.
And they do have a residential abatement program on the books. Right. And that is
For
for
improvements.
improvements to a home.
Yes. we all part of
Like
that.
the addition on their house, they don't have to pay the tax on that for 5 years.
Yes, that's correct.
It's a full tax abatement for 5 years, not a graduate.
Abatement on
For the
what
improvement.
was built. It is.
It's a public picture.
Thank you, Angela.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Ryan,
I got a couple things that are on the agenda. Do you want me to go through them now or just go through when we get there?
do I have to go through them again?
Or,
Let's wait.
Sounds like we'll wait. Yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything at the moment. We'll be back with a bunch of stuff in January, but.
Can't wait.
Too bad.
All right, moving on to 14, we have a motion to approve the use of the Egg Harbor City Lake Jersey Shore Council Boy Scouts of America Southern Shore Conduct Derby.
Make a motion.
Second.
Can I get the dates out? Name comes on half hour.
I got you. January 12th to the 14th. A motion, second, all in favor? All right. 15, resolution accepting the sustainable Jersey Community Energy Plan that was discussed earlier. May I have a motion if there's no questions, any further questions or comments?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
I don't know what happened. I got confused.
Come on, be really fast, hey, come on.
All right, Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. 16 is a resolution for the budget transfers that was sent out. If there's no questions regarding why and where, have a motion.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
I'm losing it. At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes. 17, resolution, the men's salary resolution for MVP grant coordinator. Total per grant year, not calendar year, and full-time. Class 2 officer increase range to $25 an hour. That all was emailed out. If there's no more questions or comments, may I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes. 18, resolution to update chapter 48, retiree health benefits, match agreement settlement from several years ago. Anyone have any questions regarding this? All right, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes. Resolution for 100% disabled veteran property tax exception case 2023-7. Obviously, it states what it is. If there's no more questions or comments, may I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist, Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes. Next is, may I have a motion to release the J.C. Cook on its maintenance bond if there's no questions or comments regarding.
I have a question.
Sure.
What's J.C. Custom?
Neighborhood Cedar Creek. They,
What is
they
it?
did neighborhood Cedar Creek. They did the surface paving a little more than 2 years.
And it's all been inspected.
Yep, it's all good. It's held up well.
All right, may I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Richie.
Yes. Motion to join Omnia Partners Purchasing Co-op. If there's no questions or comments regarding such.
Question.
Sure.
What's this for?
They have just various different, lots of different stuff. The main thing I'm thinking that I'm looking at is furniture.
Furniture?
Mhm.
For my house?
Yeah. Office furniture,
No for Jody.
my office, the building department.
Any further questions? Motion?
Motion.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. 22 is a resolution to change in text and title, text and or title for matching funds for grants budget line item, to allow use of small cities grant application. There's no questions or comments. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. Resolution authorizing the purchase of ADA playground equipment installation and surfacing through cooperative agreement with the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey. Any questions, comments?
This the one going by the orange part at Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We got the number on this?
I'm waiting for the guy to give me the final, we have a grant for 63,000, so everyone is just authorized up to the grant amount. So he had sent me a price without the surfacing included, and it left room, so fingers crossed, there shouldn't be any issue with adding the surfacing to still keep it within the grant amount.
To include, authorizing 63,000.
You'll update that. Yeah, I'll.
All right. Any other questions? Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
At Tenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Absolutely.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
100%.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. 24, looks like Neighborhood Preservation Program District, authorization, the award of a non-fair and open contract for the purchase of a forklift in the amount of 2079. Any questions?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, good.
I just wanted to elaborate on that,
what do we need for forklift for? And, can it be, go under shared services?
The forklift is for putting flags up and the Christmas lights and decorating Philadelphia Avenue. I think they do it like 4 or 5 times a year. And also,
Probably more of
and
a-
there's
What we
a
use?
bucket that goes on.
Were we renting before or something?
Yes.
That's what it was, okay.
And this is like a regular forklift,
Yeah. and
not
then
a lift.
That's a
water
regular
bucket?
forklift, but it gets, more, public works is if it goes through via basket that the insurance company referred to us, so we can put somebody up there in there. Like we used to do.
And how high up will it go?
We don't need to go higher than 15 feet.
Well, if getting this piece of equipment, would that help with trimming the trees in the parks and stuff?
I don't think so.
Can I speak?
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry, I don't want to.
Nope, feel free. You're our coordinator for the MVP.
So, everybody knows I'm Karen, MVP coordinator. Over the past 3 years, we've averaged renting a forklift just about eight, maybe 9 times a year. At this point, we had a little bit of extra money in the budget under the streetscape to end out this year. And talking to a few of the stakeholders that are directly impacted by it, we figured at this point, it would make sense to buy it rather than keep running it over and over and over again. After I speaking with Wendy from DCA, she said that at this point, it would be under the MPP contract. So it needs to be used in MPP districts for MPP purposes. Speaking with the public works supervisor, public works will house the forklift. The keys to the forklift will go in City Hall with a sign out sheet so that it's documented that it's being used for MPP purposes and stuff like that. It's almost the exact same thing we have been running over and over and over again. We kept it pretty much the exact same because of how often we've been using it. We know it works.
And this is coming out of your budget?
It would come out of the MPP for 2023.
Okay, good.
There was that much left over.
So with the MPP budget, we got it so late in the year, we had to spend it, again, every year you have to zero out at the end. We weren't able to do all the improvements that we were hoping for on the Avenue streetscape because the delays with Cindy Williams getting under control, off the ground and all that kind of stuff. The ARP grant that freed up all that money from the Archway Green project gave us a lot of money that we had to allocate by the end of the year.
And would it behoove us to maybe use a shared service agreement as opposed to doing it this way, taking it out this way? Because don't forget, you still have the upkeep and everything else on that.
So at the end of the MPP term, we are more than within our rights to turn it over to Public Works.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay. As long as that can be-
And again, I don't have any written confirmation, which I did request. We were on a Zoom call with Wendy from DCA, Stefani from Triad, who's our grant coordinator, Jody and myself. So everyone is aware of the acceptance from DCA.
So the funding's here for it,
It will
and we
cost
won't
us
have to
money.
rent, we won't have to rent.
We won't have to rent ever again.
And they'll be able to use it anywhere after
Yep.
a few years.
Yep.
Even if we keep getting the grant.
So the MPP grant is only good for, we just finished our 3rd year, so we'll have 2 more years in the MPP grant, and that's it. They're stretching the next 2 years.
I thought you were serious.
Can I just make it quick? I don't know if anyone saw, we had our first storefront refresh project happen today. TJ's got their new sign on the avenue. Big
Oh,
deal,
nice.
the first one of the project.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
So Karen, real quick, keep doing what you're doing. Phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Seriously. So where were we?
Motion.
Okay.
I'll make that
Motion.
We got a
I'll
vote.
second that.
Roll call.
I'm sorry. All right. Atenesi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. 25 is a resolution to authorize the award of a non-fair and open contract for the purchase of police door locks and neighborhood NPP district security cameras in the amount of 19,525. And Karen, I'm guessing that goes
Same
back
money.
to your story about balancing out your budget for the year, correct? Yeah.
She wasn't listening.
Yeah, I was saying, I forget to drive the forklift, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna assume it's the same story about balancing out the budget. So, is there any questions or concerns regarding that?
I do have a question.
Sure.
This says police door locks.
You want me to explain? I'll explain this real quick.
Yeah.
So-
well, It's in with the,
The same
List.
vendor is gonna be used for both items. The cameras are like 16 something for NPP district.
right,
We also, from the same vendor, have a quote for door locks that I'm applying for a grant through our insurance. There's like a safety grant every year. Just because the vendor, that threshold for security items will go over the pay to play threshold. I just put them both together in the resolution as because his threshold would be over pay to play. It's the same
so
vendor.
where do these locks go? What kind of locks are they? They go in the building?
Chief,
or-
They're in the
Chief,
police
could you
department.
explain where these locks will be placed, please? They're
Yeah,
police door locks, right?
we currently have locks on there. They're similar to the ones that are here at the door with the key fobs, that, the electronic locks. These systems have been there for 10 plus years. The front door here at our lobby is actually not functioning right now, so we are having to manually do that. So, I had requested a quote from the vendor, previously, so that is what that's like.
And this is already budgeted? This is in a budget?
The cameras, and I'm applying for a grant for the police department. If
Okay,
not, there's room in their budget if need be, but I am applying for a grant that we should know by the end of the month.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Motion, please.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Atonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yeah.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. 26, accepting the terms of the contract entered into the South Jersey Power Cooperative, SJPC for natural gas. Any questions regarding the email with that? Have a motion.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Atonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Richie.
Yes. 27, resolution to waive installation of curb and sidewalk 2101 Philadelphia Avenue. You know, Ryan, you want to discuss this?
Sure. This is at the corner of Philadelphia Avenue and Lessing Street. As you know, CME is still doing the design for the bike path project, come right through there. And which will move the curb line back, and be a bit redundant with the sidewalk, and there are no other sidewalks on Philadelphia Avenue. I definitely recommend waiving the curbs and sidewalk on Philadelphia Avenue. Along Lessing Street, there already is curb. We put that in with the, north subdivision, improvements for the high school. There is nothing that would connect to now. The lot, the block behind this lot is vacant. So if that were to be developed as part of the north subdivision, it's included in that plan. If that were to be developed in the future, it would connect to the sidewalk that would be constructed as part of that development.
Okay.
So that one, there's nothing there now, but there certainly could be in the future. That's a little more up for
Okay.
discussion.
Any questions?
I do.
Sure.
Is that the same builder that had built 400 block of Boston Avenue?
It is. That's what we learned. You needed to ask in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering, thank you.
Yeah, last time it sort of got brought to us after the fact. He wasn't aware until it literally went to closing. This time he asked us well in advance. It's like, if I have to do it, I have to do it. I just need to know so I can build it in and, can recover it in the house price. And
Oh,
so-
okay. They do it before they built,
Well, he just
Completely
needed,
built.
he just needed to do it before he sold. That's really the key. But I met with him on the site, probably 3 months ago or so, and I asked him to submit a request in writing to the clerk. And I guess he misunderstood. I thought I was going to speak to the clerk on his behalf. So they reached out and asked for an update, and so we never got a request. So they finally submitted their request in writing.
So what are we approving here?
Um,
First Philadelphia Avenue.
Yeah,
Not for
he's requesting a waiver of sidewalk along Lessing
Oh.
and a waiver of sidewalk and curb along Philadelphia. I'm recommending the waiver on Philadelphia, for curb and sidewalk for Lessing. That's really up to you guys.
Well, I'd like to mention that the city adopted a complete streets policy in 2012.
Mhm.
And that requires developers, anybody, to make the sidewalks accessible, the city accessible to all users, including the handicapped. Granting waivers is not a good idea, especially in a residential neighborhood, people need to walk down the sidewalk and be safe. So I think it would be okay to do it for Philadelphia Avenue, but not for Lessing Street. I think there should be a sidewalk there and you should be required to install it.
Any other comments? So, I would agree with Councilwoman Galloway. We Philadelphia, because it makes no sense to having to spend money and then it gets torn up or removed or whatever the case is. That's just ignorance on our behalf. But definitely for Lexington Avenue, just for that sole purpose of what was previously stated, so.
So the motion would be to waive along Philadelphia Avenue and require sidewalk on Lessing.
Yeah.
You'll tell them.
Yeah. I'll relay the message.
Well, this doesn't mention Lessing.
It says 2101, which is the corner property that's on Lessing and Philadelphia. He was asking for a waiver from everything. We're breaking it up.
Anybody else have any comments or questions regarding? If not, the motion will be made to waive Philadelphia Avenue and continue with installation on Lessing. So may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Ritchie.
Yes. 28, resolution, supporting the suitability of a state licensed micro grow cannabis business by Agriculture LLC at 1602 White Horse Pike. Again, this is just a letter of support, correct, Angela?
Yes, that's correct.
So there's no questions.
Where is 1602?
Earl's Girls
Yeah.
building,
Corner of
blue roof.
Brandon.
Gotcha.
Does it still have the blue roof?
Nope.
that for the whole building, or is it just?
No.
It's a- Yeah, 2,500 square foot maximum micro grow.
Can you have multiple use with?
I was gonna say, I believe that the prospective tenant is here. If you have any questions for him.
Yeah, you can speak, public comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to have mixed use?
Yeah, so that building has a use variance as a multi-tenant facility. They requested and received a second use variance for this use at this site. The board granted that at their meeting. So the resolution has not passed yet, but the board voted to approve the use variance.
So we have a motion by Councilman Wright, have a second?
Before we, hey, Ryan, do you think we might need to, adjust our ordinance in some way, since this is a micro? Because theoretically, we said 1 on 30, 1 over 50.
This isn't retail,
It's not retail.
it's cultivation.
This is a plant.
It's micro grow. Yeah. micro
Yes.
grow.
Completely different.
So just cultivation, no retail.
Road culture, LLC. I mean, that was-
They made a nice presentation.
So we have a motion by Councilman Wright, may I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
29 is a resolution for approving Egg Harbor Egg Harbor City towing contractor for 2024. Any questions regarding? If not, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, roll call?
Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yeah. All right, number 30 is a public hearing. We're gonna open up for ordinance 17 of 2023 for illicit connection and ordinance to prohibit illicit connection to the municipal separate storm sewer system. May I have a motion to open public hearing? All right, anybody from public like to speak on this ordinance? Going once, going twice. Make a motion to close. All right, I have a motion to adopt. Make a motion. Roll
Second.
call?
Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes, motion to advertise Hamilton Gazette on the 20th of this month.
Good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want, make a motion, to pay bills?
Make that.
Roll call? You're like fifth in line, don't worry.
Atenesi,
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse,
Yeah.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes, Mayor, the floor is yours for any final comments of 2023.
Just want to say happy holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate, and obviously Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Councilwoman Ice.
I just want to wish everybody a joyous holiday season. Be safe, spend time with your family. It's the most important part. It's not in the presents, it's in the present, who you're with, not what you're giving as presents.
Sure.
See that?
I see what you did there.
And that's all I have.
Councilman Dash.
Again, a couple weeks ago, my wife and I attended the tree lighting ceremony. And the first thing I really thought of once I got onto Philadelphia Avenue and saw the crowds was, this is really what a small town should look like. You guys did a phenomenal job. It was an amazing night. It was so nice to see with the ice skating rink, the snow globe, the carolers, everything was just really spectacular. Great job. Tonight's the last night of Hanukkah, so I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah and a Merry Christmas and a happy, safe New Year. That's it.
All right, thank you, sir. Councilman Wright.
Couple things, really mainly for Jody. I mean, this has been going on since July. I need some updates on the scoreboard. I need some updates.
Well,
on
they started
lights.
digging the,
Yeah, and they fell down.
They fell
which-
down,
Because
so
they
we-
decided to drill it. like,
yeah,
as we got
so
more
now they're.
But
So they came up with, I guess, a different engineering plan, so that should be back in the works very soon. I'll touch base with them and make sure that
It's
that.
gonna be June, and I mean, I've been trying to get a meeting now for Key Rec since July. I mean, we just keep dragging our feet and dragging our feet, and I gotta get this stuff done. I mean, the lights, I gotta
Trust me,
get.
it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah, I know, I'm not on you, I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general, I mean, we're gonna be, and then I'll be buried into it again in
Yeah.
June. I mean, the scoreboard, I'm kind of, but as far as like putting this additional in the building that I wanna do, putting the spend around this field that I wanna do for the safety of these kids, there's stuff that I wanna get done before the season comes along.
Yeah,
It
I know.
seems like I'm not
Yeah,
getting anywhere.
yeah, I was thinking maybe we could try to either set up like a virtual meeting or, you know, I don't know if you're available during the day at all, but
Not today.
maybe we could
Weekend.
do, you know, maybe set up like a virtual meeting, just to kind of go over and make like a plan, because I'm not sure what improvements need to be done and like what's gonna need to involve Ryan
Yeah,
or at some, you know.
Right. But the main
level. So we
thing
can
is
kind of maybe
basically,
make a. make a
basically
sort of
like
an
the
outline.
scoreboard is what it is.
Exactly, yeah, develop like a.
I just don't want to get to the point now with the scoreboard. Now they say, oh, the ground's too frozen, now we can't do it.
Right.
Then
right.
April, May comes, oh, the ground's too soft again, and now we're, out of luck with a scoreboard
Yeah.
again for another year.
Why am I having a flashback to paving of Chicago Avenue?
Well, don't even. So, Councilman Wright, I mean, you saw the email, depending how reorg goes, it's gonna be like in the top 3 things to prioritize for January. We will make it a point to meet with Key Rec, and if
Right.
they don't want to, we're gonna continue on.
Right, I mean, I got no choice.
Can I just say something? I thought, didn't we say we were gonna have an ad hoc committee?
Yes.
Or- Okay.
What's an ad hoc
So once
committee?
we get the.
I mean, really technically, I don't understand what that is.
It's a special
But
committee.
it's a
for
Crusaders-
Purpose.
Crusaders, the board of the Crusaders, it's supposedly their money, correct? They're the ones that should be making these decisions of what improvements need to be done at this field between them and Key Rec.
Yes,
I mean, that's what I thought, that's what.
yes.
You know, Key Rec has to be included.
That's what I just said, Key Rec and Crusaders.
Yeah,
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 so,
and I'm sure they'll be agreeable.
yeah, I mean, I don't see them disagreeing in anything, but I don't wanna go behind their backs and,
No, I know.
but I wanna do it the right way, but
But
then
they
again,
just-
time
they
is
just got
ticking.
done hunting
Right.
season.
I know, that's why I said I'll wait until after the new year, but I'm just saying, just gotta get it going.
it will,
Yeah.
take my word on it. So,
No, I'm glad you brought it up, because I had been thinking that the other day that I kind of wanted to figure out, like,
Yeah,
I kind of don't know where to start and like what I need to do and what other people.
but I'm really,
if we
cause
could
like I
kinda
said,
just-
really with us not having baseball and stuff out there, this is the time to get done what we gotta
Right,
get done,
right.
because there's no kids,
Right.
there's nobody out there, and traffic really out there.
Right.
And there's just so you know, there's a proposed plan also for a pickleball court, modification of the current tennis courts that we have a proposal for, that will be brought to January's meeting, well, second January.
All the guys said
Yeah.
that sooner the better if we want to be able to kind of pick when we want to get that installed, so.
Mace, would it be, or Jody, would it be a good idea for Mason to make a list of what his improvements are to give you an idea of where to start?
Well, we
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
I
like an
mean,
outline,
like I said,
yeah.
I've sent numerous emails to Key Rec about kind of what I wanted to do. Or ideas, I said, as you can say, huh? So, and numerous between the constators get sitting down and deciding what's our best interest. And the main things was definitely was the scoreboard, which we pushed for first. Was the fence for around that field to keep this riprap and stuff away from these kids. And the lights, because we need to do something with these lights, because right now, like I said, just $1,500 every time.
Yeah,
every
well,
month
that's
they
why
hit the switch.
That's why, if you get me
is-
that information, hopefully
I got
the
it.
guy, okay, perfect.
I mean, to
Because I'll
the
get
best of
that.
my ability, I mean, because we don't even.
Yeah,
use
I
the
just
lights.
want to give him somewhat, I think he should kind of be able to
So-
give us like an idea of cost savings and.
Cause I feel bad for
Thank-
like, I had,
like that.
kids that, came through the program and stuff, and they usually like to do like a Thanksgiving night game or something like that. And I'm like, listen. Now that I know how much it is to switch that switch.
I think that's
You know what I
great.
mean?
There's gotta be a
There's
way to
nothing
bring
personal.
that down.
Right, there's nothing personal, but I just can't,
No, I think there's gotta be a way to
Community
keep it
solar.
down. That seems crazy.
So, but I mean, I know if we go with the LEDs, I know it's gonna really cut that price down, it really.
Right,
and
that's
then-
why the guy, they just did a project, the company that I was talking to, they just did some lights out at Cedar Creek, I
Yeah,
think.
they did that. I mean, we have talked to them like years ago, and then we just never got people that were in the containers prior that
Right,
just never got nowhere. And then, so I'm hoping that.
yeah, hopefully.
But that's one of our biggest things, and then basically, like I said, expanding that stand a little bit, to make it more room in that stand and the equipment room, which is basically just blocking a flat roof.
And new kitchen equipment.
Yeah, the new, which is.
I would suggest any email you send to Key Rec, you CC Jody on.
Mhm.
So that way she also has a paper trail of what you're sending to,
Yeah,
to
and I
have
have
your
started
check.
pricing out some of the kitchen equipment. I do kind of have some questions on some of that, but I figure if we kind of have a meeting, we can kind of.
Who are you sending to it?
McGinnis,
Okay.
that's their treasurer. Listen, they're busy like everybody else, it's nothing, I'm just saying, I just don't want to, and I'm not talking bad about Key Rec at all, you know what I mean, I'm just saying that. Like, I know they're busy and we're busy, but this is the time that we really need to get down and sit down and decide, what they approve of and what we want to do, that way we're all engaged and we can get this thing moving.
Mace, I'll email Gary and get with him and see if he can give us some dates, because that's
Okay.
what I did the last time.
All right, yeah, just so like I said, because I just don't want to wait and we keep dragging our feet and before we know it's June or July again,
Yeah,
and then
no, I
we're right
agree.
back where we
Right,
were last.
yeah.
I mean, last year our hands were tied because we had to wait for the money.
Right,
So it kind of put us in a bad spot, you know what I mean? But now that we have it, we got the opportunity to do it,
right.
I'd
yeah,
rather get
no,
a jump on
I-
it. Yeah, but that we really appreciate it.
I just emailed her now for an update on the scoreboard too, what we're talking.
All right, yeah. I mean, technically,
I'm on it.
the problem is that where that scoreboard is, that land was built on top of the swamp. And it was never basically backfilled with fill before they put the topsoil and everything like that. So that's why even when it drizzles over there, you can't do anything over it. Because all that water, and I guess I think there's a drain in the middle of the Little League field where it goes out to that little swamp across from Deer Street there. And, yeah, because that, one year, I think the whole right field or left field collapsed in. And, yeah, so, but, so yeah, but now this is really the time that if they're gonna do it, it's not frozen, but it's also not soft where they can. haul
We're
in.
supposed to have a mild winter too, so.
Yeah,
and on that note, we need to push for the electric to be for the campground under the.
Yeah.
Why-
I was thinking when we do the other things, maybe that it's kind of incorporated as part of maybe like
Yeah,
a,
one big.
or at least a
proposal
part,
for everything.
yeah, just. since we're
But if
already
it freezes,
wanna
they're
look
not gonna
out
be able
there.
to dig the
Yeah,
trenches to put those wires in and upgrade.
Yeah, for that one, there's a design component for the city to handle, but there's also a pretty significant electric component, so maybe we can start getting the application and getting. them
Yeah,
to
not
get-
to jump their knees.
Oh, no, that's
just
fine.
Piggyback on,
Yeah.
because that's something else we need to get.
No, I
done
hear you.
before the
It's all
season.
the same.
That's pretty much it. I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday and happy new year, and hopefully everybody has a safe travel if you're traveling anywhere, and enjoy yourself, because you never know. We're not promised tomorrow, so stay your loved ones and spend as much time as you can, because you never know what could happen. So have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Tibbetts.
I just want to say, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everyone. Jody, not to add anything more to your plate. There was a couple months ago, and going back once prior to that, we always talked about at some point the technology improvements.
For this room, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
We're working on it. We're very, very close. I actually just talked to the guy, yesterday. He
Okay.
just changed, we were just figuring, like finalizing where the microphones and stuff like that'll be. So fingers crossed, we should be moving forward and authorizing that very shortly.
Thank you.
And when's that training?
It should be very simple, just a flip of a switch.
Councilwoman Hussey.
I just want to say happy holidays to everyone and then look forward to seeing everyone in the new year. All the best.
Thank you. Councilwoman Antonisi, you on?
I'm here. I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. And I wanted to thank the first responders for responding out to my house last week. My mom's doing much better, so thank you. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Clark.
Just everyone have a safe and healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad. A happy and safe New Year. So, feliz año nuevo, and that is it.
Councilwoman Gallo.
Yes, I just wanted to say I stopped by MedLeaf yesterday.
What'd you purchase?
They have a really nice operation.
Yeah.
Beautiful job inside that building, and it's very secure and nice graphics on the wall. It's very clean, a lot of spacing.
Did you get any samples?
I saw the
Now they don't let you see anything, it's all in the vault. But it's nice, it is an improvement, and I talked to the owner, and he's looking forward to seeing other businesses come into town because he's there, he needs the support, and he would love to see another bar open on Philadelphia Avenue, he said.
Yeah, because that stuff makes you hungry.
Get the Girl Scout out there.
And I just wanted to say happy last day of Hanukkah to all my Jewish friends. Merry Christmas and happy Kwanzaa and happy New Year.
Thank you. All right, before we go to public comment, so Sharon, next year, more snow,
Yeah.
More
I
snow.
thought so too.
more snow. Get like 2 machines on each side of the road, make that whole place flurrying.
I would just love to really quick, this winter event is so much bigger than anyone ever anticipated. It really was. The Windberg Foundation really made that all happen. Without the Windberg Foundation, it wouldn't have gone off that big. So big shout out to them.
Yes.
I hear the parents were very happy because after the kids played in the snow, they just had to rinse them off and put them in bed. They were all soaked up
So
already.
we're really hoping that moving the performances to the event and taking them out of the parade will make that parade go much bigger.
Yes.
And the parade already has almost doubled in size from last year.
Wow.
So everybody come out to Philadelphia Avenue on Saturday, it's gonna be huge.
Bring your grills. Oh, you didn't hear. Yeah, so, no, definitely more snow, bring more snow. So as everybody else said, obviously, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy last night of Hanukkah to our friends who are Jewish. And, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Oh.
And I will open it up to the public. Anybody from the public have anything? Come on up to the podium, sir, state your name.
I just got a question about the lesson now. Ben Ridley, 28 Avenue. You, just voted, that house is at the property we sold,
Right.
to Mace Builders? You're gonna make them put a sidewalk, there's no sidewalk anywhere else in the neighborhood?
It's required by our laws.
I know, but sometimes you gotta your Ben laws, for the variances, there's and the things, you're making the builder to put a house on an 80 by 150 lot, where everybody else is 100 by 150. But a house that doesn't fit in the neighborhood because you allowed them to do this, and now you're making them put a sidewalk, it's kind of stupid. No other place there has a sidewalk in there. Not that I like that house, because I really don't. But,
Well, you know, if that area is ever gets back one developed, if we grant a waiver,
if,
this,
if,
if we granted the waiver,
if,
the city would be responsible for
No,
putting
so
in
the
the
rest-
sidewalks.
so you're making the
And I don't
guy,
think the taxpayer should be paying for.
the taxpayer shouldn't pay for it, you're correct. But the neighborhood does not have a sidewalk in it at all. At all. Matter of fact, my front curb is all railroad ties, not sidewalk, not curb or sidewalk. So you made a ruling on something that's kind of stupid, and waste of money.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas to you.
I raised my hand.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, our city engineer is I couldn't see past. Step up to the podium, state your name and address. Thank you.
I'm gonna pass this out to,
Sure.
so you all can understand what I'm saying, because I ramble. So you wanna start it, and then do I have to get anybody to the attorney and? I just have to fix it.
Yeah,
We're ready. They can share, go ahead.
I didn't want to be on that TV. I was really keep right on there. Okay, my name is Gertrude Elaine Will. I give my name. So don't tell anybody my first name.
No.
Okay, we own a home, a house. We own a rental on Cincinnati Avenue. And, on 500 block. Now, we pay an inspection fee every year. Okay, we have no problem with that. The problem that I see, it seems, let me back up, if you'll look at this spreadsheet that I did, hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. So we've had increases. I have never had a problem with the increases. And in 2021, it was at $75. And in 2022, it went to 125. No problem. Since the fee started, we always pay in June. Okay, always. So June means we're paying, I would think, July to the next June. Now, in 6/15/2022, it went to $125. February 15th, 2023, it was 125, and then the $50 administrative fee, and I'm sure that's because of the lead free and all that, no problem with that. And then 12/31, we have a bill now to pay $175, 125, and the $50. What I don't see is we paid in June of 22, $125, which would carry us to from July to June of 23. We get a bill February 15th. We have to pay $175. March, April, May, and June of 2023. We paid for it, okay? I didn't see any prorate on that. Then we get a bill that has to be paid by 12/31, which means 2 months, January and February, which we paid, should have had its prorate, I believe. This is how I'm looking at this, okay? So this is why I put it there. So when you see the first asterisk, it says how we paid. The second asterisk says we paid from March to February of 2024. Now we get a bill that says we have to pay December 31st. Now, February 15th, we paid $175. December 31st, we're paying $175. That's $350. Okay, we're landlords, by the way, I'm sorry. We have a house and we rent. 12/31 24 will be paying another $179. In less than 2 years, I will be putting out $525. Something is not right with this. I mean, I understand we pay a fee. I have no problem paying the fee. I think that we somehow have, it's been overlapped. I think we paid too much. Now tell me if I'm wrong.
Did you talk to the building inspector about that? Did you talk? to
I
them?
went to the code enforcement and I said, why are we paying 12/31/2023? We should be paying, and they said, council made the date. I said, listen, I have no problem. Here.
No, I can explain it to you. So council adopted the ordinance on April 7th, 2022. And at that time, it was implemented immediately. And
Okay,
so
I read that.
for
and I have
some
no problem with
folks,
that.
unfortunately, like yourself, you might have had two fees and it might have had overlapping fees because the ordinance took effect immediately and there was no grace. So I understand your point that you think you're paying more than you should have, but you're actually paying what the ordinance requires you to pay.
Okay, so then I say to you, you gave me a bill for you, it's $125. You took an ordinance to increase it to 175. Is that what you're telling me? I
The
have no
ordinance-
problem with that.
The ordinance was passed in April of 22. That's your issue. Your issue is you wanted a grace period.
No, that's not my issue.
But
That's not my issue.
no, the ordinance went into effect immediately. So some folks like yourself might think that you're paying more than you should, but it's actually what the ordinance requires. Because the city found that we had a lot of rental properties and all our administrative fees were going up and therefore they raised it. And because it went into effect immediately, you got a bill and then you got another bill. But going forward, it's always $175. It's not going to increase. You're not going to have to pay more going forward.
My point is, we paid for a year.
Yeah. And it was.
And then you overlap.
She's got 4 months that she overlapped here.
I hear what you're saying, and it's not, oh, well, okay, oh, well.
No, it's not, oh, well,
Point
I'm just
being-
explaining to you what happened in the overlap period.
But why am I being jeopardized 6 months worth of
No, this is a fee they gotta pay every
that
year.
I shouldn't be jeopardized?
No, it
Because I paid
was
for it.
July.
Well, you paid for 20 from what you tell us here. You paid in 21, you're $75 in June, right? Okay, then you paid in 22 in June, correct?
Right.
Right. And 22 is when the ordinance came into effect, that came into effect immediately. So instead of paying your 175, instead of paying your 175, you only paid 125. So going forward, you will pay the full amount.
That last part, because I didn't understand it.
The ordinance was passed in April of 22. You got a bill in June for 125. You should have had 175. But you did not. Right.
So she should have owed 50.
So, but going forward, you will continually pay as you have your bill for 12/31. You will pay 175.
I know I'm paying 175.
I got a question.
Obviously, I don't get it yet, okay, so we'll work on.
So actually, you owe us $50. That's my point to you.
Charge more than that. You charge more than
She got paid 4 months extra. This guy looking at this. She paid July
that. Do you have
27th
this
to
answer?
June
Yes.
23rd. The ordinance kicked in April of 22nd. That means 2 months that she paid for that she got charged again, and then the 175 from March 23rd to February 24th. Now she's getting paid again January 24th to December 24th. That's another 2 months. That's 4 months that she got paid extra that she shouldn't have to pay.
Oh, only because you did these ordinance and it said it adds up, so if you
Right.
did the ordinance.
Right.
Ordinance and it said adds up, 8 why even, I would even go to say, you're charging me another 2 months in 23. That.
No, because you see, the problem it was because it was in the middle of the year. That's the problem.
That is what I would ask.
Yeah.
And
Should
should
the
there a
fees have been
specific
prorated?
date these fees are due?
The deed,
When you send out the
the
fees
fees have always been due.
in June, right?
They used, yeah, they were.
And it could be June
Right.
15th, could be June 30th.
Right.
It depends on the thing.
So when we raise the fee,
It was
why
immediate,
didn't we ask for it to start in June? Why don't we do it in February?
because council wanted it immediately.
April of twenty
Well,
twenty-two.
that's double billing.
But she only owed $50 for June 2022.
It wasn't, when did the ordinance?
The ordinance went into effect April 7th, 22.
I mean, this is rocket science, it's plain. as day
Well,
right there.
then,
So you. Is this 12/31/23 for the next year?
it's for the
To,
next,
Yeah.
to cover
Yeah.
2024?
which means at the end of 2024, you're getting money for 2025. Because that was another.
Well, maybe what we should do is differentiate the billing time. If you're not happy with the time
It's not that
frame,
I'm not happy. You're hammering me and then you're hammering me. You send me a bill and it looks right, I pay it. This didn't look right and it still doesn't.
I understand. I
look
perfectly,
right. To me.
I understand what
So
you're
is it
saying.
the council's fault that they didn't say, well, we should start this in June?
Well,
No,
it-
my understanding is the $50 administrative fee is to help because of the lead free and all, everything else. that's
right,
going
the
on.
administrative fees all went up across the board and that's why we had to implement an increase. It wasn't targeted to anyone in particular, but because the city had so many rentals, we decided to make up for the administrative fees. We had to raise them a little bit.
So your ordinance.
And typically ordinances always go into effect immediately in order to have continuity within the city, within any municipality.
You know, you might have to go off.
So then, if that's the case, and that
Right.
ordinance was adopted,
I think you.
then the building cycle is from April to April?
No, the billing cycle is now from January to December.
And you pushed it up to January because it would have been to June.
Correct. Correct.
So by pushing it up, you still.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I understand your point. Instead of sending out our bills in June, maybe we should have waited until January or December, right? That's what your point is.
No, my point is, if you were going to send it out in January, I think there should have been a prorate because now I know you're saying the ordinance was April 7th. I would
Right.
know anything.
Right, I have it for you if you want a copy of it.
I can take a copy.
Okay.
But what I'm saying to you is, if you did it, then you should have billed right away, because when I see this.
And I don't disagree.
think I owe you $50.
I don't disagree with that. Maybe that's what we should have done. Maybe we should have billed right away. But by not billing right away, we saved you $50. So that's the point.
But then
I think they owe you $100.
you didn't, because you overlapped. For me,
50 for the first 2
that
months.
$50, I see your point with
Yeah,
$50,
right.
okay? But as a person that's getting the bill and everything, you billed me $125. I paid the $125.
You're right.
You, as you, as.
Yeah, right. I understand.
Okay.
I'm not taking it
You
personally.
sent me, please don't, you sent me a bill because I don't do this every day of my life.
Right.
But anytime you send me a bill, the next you say $175, I said, no problem. I pay it, and then I thought, I said, well, they're getting me for a couple months here, but, okay. But then when you go 12/31, you're talking 10 months. And you're overlapping again. You overlap 2 months. Because I'm gonna say you wanted to start at 12, you wanted to start it at January 1st. But you went February 15th.
I understand. I
February
understand
15th to 12/31
that
now.
the bill's a
That's
little,
another 2 months.
the way the bill reads, that is a little problematic. I understand that. But as going forward, it will be just 175 per year. So,
But technically speaking, when I filed my income tax, I put $350 out this year.
I understand that. Yes, I understand that too as well.
I don't know, I think the council should have thought a little more about this. I still think I still think I brought a couple of bottles of soda. But this was my point. I think when you do an ordinance.
I'm happy to give you a copy of the ordinance.
Okay. But I just feel that, you know, you do this fee. We pay every time we get a bill, we pay it, but I think that this was not thought out with the landlord. Maybe you got some slum landlords, and you call them, but we're not, okay? And I feel like we just.
But I appreciate that you take care of your property, and I'm happy that you do.
And we have a good tenant, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I still feel that you're wrong.
Excuse me, could I just? Should we not just figure out how much it is per month? And see if there is a difference, because I figure it's $10, it's 10.4666 per month. So the difference, she owed us 50 for 615. And then we owe her for 4 months from, it should have been June, and we charged her in February. So that's 4 months. So 4 times the 10.46
Actually, it's 6 months that you would owe me.
for the first, from
We would get $10 and some odd cents. I don't know with it, but I
Right.
still disagree with the whole.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, it should,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, we should look.
It should, when you do an ordinance for poor people like us. We don't have 2 O's in our name, okay, but, you know, there was one thing, organization that, not organization, companies between do this, but this to me is like, you're you know, why don't you send a bill and make it 1/15/2024? No, right when you, but I mean, 12/31/2023, and I think that was wrong. That was the other thing.
I think it should have been appropriate.
Well, that's what I think, but I can't go in an ordinance, but the ordinance should have been, the consideration should have been taken into the dates. And then making a problem, because I pay my bills. Okay. Now I'm gonna have a place of mine.
What was your first name again?
Elaine.
I go by name, but my first name
Elaine?
is Gertrude. But we don't tell anybody.
I didn't know who they meant when they said Gertrude. I'm like, I think her name's Elaine.
Thank you so much. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody else from the public?
Oh, 5.
Oh, no, we got one.
No.
And that's the rest.
And
Huh?
I wound
That's
up
fine.
at this, we'll tell you that. They broke into her car. They broke into her car and tried to steal it.
Yes, Bridget, Bridget Earl, tax collector.
Make sure you take care of my tenant. Everybody have a blessed.
Thank
No,
you.
you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Jody. From Mason.
That's fine.
Okay, cool, thank you.
We agreed to disagree. You don't want to next week.
How you doing? Say your name and address.
Hello, my name is Tom Pichata, 315 Franklin Road, Glastonbury, New Jersey. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm the owner of Agro Culture. My wife and I are very excited and grateful for you passing our resolution. We're actually here tonight celebrating our 16th anniversary together. So it's really
really would have liked cake.
We got cookies?
Yeah, we can.
Go ahead.
I had a whole presentation ready to present my heart out, but I thought I was speaking before you voted, so I just wanted to say.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just understand, it's a letter of support. So,
Correct.
you know.
Yeah,
that
there's
whole
a
process.
few more steps there, but
Okay.
yeah, this is a big step forward.
And you already are established in another municipality? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
This is where we.
Oh, I thought you said you were a grower already.
No.
Oh,
Thank you, happy holidays.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Anybody else from the public? Go once, twice,
Make a motion, please.
second.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody have a very merry Christmas.
Amen.
Thank you.
You can have this.
What, send it in later?
Thank you.